Hi.
Hi there.
My name's Sterling.
And what do you do here?
Stand around, eat lettuce, and watch people.
Explain the process of putting this together.
How much tape do you have?
Hi, I'm Marie-Chute Salomon, and I'm here with Sterling Downey here. So, Sterling, could you tell us a little about where we are right now?
Actually, right now, where we're filming is at a location under Highway 20, the Ville-Marie Autoroute, which is called the TA Wall. It's a location that has been frequented over the last 20 years by graffiti writers in the city and outside the city who travel in to paint. It used to be what was considered a wall of fame, where some of the most predominant and relevant graffiti writers used to get up and used to practice their art. And over the years, it's obviously snowballed into a lot more people being here. It's a highly trafficked area. A lot of people come and walk their dogs in the area to look at things. A lot of photographers come to document graffiti. Some people come to meet people while they're painting in the day. So it's a really interesting location. It's the name, the TA Wall, is named after my crew. One of my graffiti crews from the early 90s is called Team Autobot, TA. And I was one of the first people to paint on this wall at the time in 1994-95. So it has carried that name for well over 15 years, which is really interesting. But it's a great place. It's a safe place and an out-of-the-way place for graffiti writers to actually practice or to just, have a day where they can hang out all together and just paint with no one bothering them.
So exactly because you are from Under Pressure, so how about you explain to us exactly is Under Pressure, what it's all about?
Well, Under Pressure is an international graffiti convention. It's an annual international graffiti convention that happens in Montreal. It's been going on, it's in its 16th year this year. We founded it back in 1996. Myself, Flo, and a couple of other people started it. The idea was to create an outlet for people to express themselves creatively, graffiti writers first and foremost, b-boys and b-girls for dancing, DJs and MCs. It was a lot of the hip-hop community was involved back in those days. Today it's grown into a larger festival that incorporates also skateboarding, other sports, different forms of music, electro, drum and bass, jungle. Basically, everybody and anything that makes up culture in the city that's part of music or art is somewhat involved in Under Pressure in some way or another. So it's one big giant community outlet for people to basically, voice their art and show their skills.
That is so interesting. So is it like only by Montreal artists, or do you have like other people coming in like from different cities or?
Well, as an international convention, it started off just local because in its first couple of years we obviously didn't have the same reach, but it's garnered an enormous amount of notoriety over the last 16 years. So we've had people since 1999 that have been traveling in from all over the world: France, Switzerland, Sweden, Poland, Germany, Australia. People traveling from all over the place. What's really important is the reason that they can do that is because the festival is held at the same time every year, so people know when to expect it now. So without really us announcing anything, they can plan to travel in, so it makes it accessible to people from around the world. What's even more interesting now is that we receive a lot of emails, and we have over the last number of years, from parents who are traveling with their kids to Montreal, and their kids are graffiti enthusiasts or interested in hip-hop culture, breakdancing or this and that. And since they're coming to Montreal for their vacations, their family vacations, they want to center their travel around activities or festivals that appeal to their whole family. So Under Pressure has become, it's really interesting, from what was an art form and a form of expression that was oppressed and repressed, it has become something that now is sought out by families when they travel on vacation, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, like as a way of bonding with their children and seeing what their interests are and all.
Exactly. It's a great way for people to communicate. And I mean, a lot of these parents, what's really funny is, let's not forget that when an event's been going on for 16 years, people who were 20 years old are now 36, so they have their own children. People who were 26 or 25 are 41, so they have families. So they were actually event goers or festival goers back in the days themselves, but now have their families have moved, but come back to Montreal for this festival, or come back out that weekend to downtown Montreal to basically hang out and reconnect with all their old friends and see each other. It's kind of like a big community get together.
And we're back. So tell us, Sterling, why is it so important to support, for the Montreal community to support Under Pressure?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because the question is, for me, I guess, is it really important for the community to support Under Pressure, or is it really important that the community recognizes that Under Pressure is there as an entity to support them? In any community, everyone has a role and a responsibility. We've assumed a responsibility to create a venue, like we said earlier, for artists to express themselves, whether it be through music or through visual arts. In order to sustain an entity like that, it takes community involvement. So it takes volunteers, it takes teams of people, dedication. It also takes a lot of fundraising initiatives, it takes contributions, because let's not forget that the event is a free outdoor event. So it's not like a festival where you're going and you're paying $35 to go see something. You're getting this event for free. So to make a $5 contribution online, or to make a $10 contribution, or to do whatever, all those contributions and all those fundraising initiatives that we do throughout the year, or different activities, and you coming and supporting them, help us raise money to be able to present the festival and to create more initiatives to allow more artists to be a part of it. So, I mean, right now we started off with a one-day festival, then we were able to do a two-day festival. Eventually, if we get to a point where we can self-sustain and the community supports and helps fund and finance the event, then we can do a three-day event, which means more people get exposure. And the important thing is to understand the power of community. You have, for example, a Facebook page that has 2,000 friends. If all 2,000 of those friends donate $5, you've raised $10,000. $10,000 is a great little foundation to start a festival on. So think about what role you play in the community and how you can contribute to things continuing. And the day, I would tell people, don't support the day that somebody looks like they got greedy and they start charging or they start doing things. But Under Pressure is synonymous with giving back to the community, and it always has. And I think that we've led the way as community players to show that our intentions are honorable and in the right place. And this started off as a joke. It didn't start off as something that we thought was going to go on for 16 years. We thought it was going to be a one-time thing. So there is already some sense of commitment and conviction in the fact that we've done it this long. So we ask that it's recognized, and we ask that people who are 15, who are now in their 30s, from 15 years ago, are now in a position that they can make a small contribution. And even then, just by coming to the event, that's a contribution too. Just by showing up and having a good time, that in its own self is a contribution. Artists contacting us is important because the event is there for them. Musicians, hip-hop groups, any kind of music. Like obviously there's a format, there is a specific ambiance that goes on at the event. So more graffiti, more street artists now, things like that. So there are things that we haven't yet been able to integrate into the festival in a harmonious way yet, but there are other things that we can do. But people don't realize, they think that because it's a festival, you can't reach the founders or the people. You can reach me easily. You can email me, you can reach me on Facebook and talk directly to me. It's not a faceless entity, it's your entity, it's your event, it's your culture. We're just the ones that were crazy enough to assume the responsibility of trying to pull it off every year. But that's the reality of it. And we have a phenomenal team of people who have been a part of this as volunteers for over 16 years, which is something to be said. Those people have gone on to have children, families, marriage, other responsibilities, but they still make time to be a part of this and to do it. And I mean, this is important. I mean, we're not talking about a bunch of 22-year-olds back in 1996 who had this crazy idea to do this one time. Now we're talking about a lot of people, but we have 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds who volunteer, who are staff for the event. Tons of things. People who are in their 20s, their 30s, people who are in their 40s and 50s who support. So it's really about everybody, not just anyone else. I guess I kind of view it when we talk about investment, we can talk about private and public companies. I would like to believe that Under Pressure is a public entity, a public company, and every community member is a shareholder. And people can make contributions as a shareholder, they have a say in it, and they pull and take back the rewards of their contributions. So, you know, I think it would be great to say already we're the longest running graffiti festival in the world. We're one of the largest ones in North America. We could be even bigger than that. And when we reach our 20-year benchmark, that's 2 decades of doing this, which is substantial. And people seem to forget that it's been around that long and people have been working that long to do it just for fun. You know, and that's really, I think the keynote is the idea is about having fun. But sometimes fun requires investments. Investments and work, exactly. And everyone can invest in different ways. So that is Under Pressure.
So hey, thanks for tuning in. So, well, Sterling, when exactly is Under Pressure?
Under Pressure this year falls on the weekend of Saturday and Sunday, August 13th and 14th in downtown Montreal behind Les Foufounes Électriques and in front of Les Foufounes Électriques on both days. Open to the public, free. You can check out for more information on the event. You can go to www.underpressure.ca and everything will be posted there as it's announced.
So there you have it. I'm Marie-Jude Salomon. This was Arts and Culture, and I'm signing off.